Okay, we're back. I normally keep my power level pretty hidden, but I've been a I've been an otaku for uh, for a good chunk of my life since my teenage years. I think my first exposure to it was watching watching Princess Mononoke as a child, and then seeing I think it was the art of fighting movie, but because it was on Western television, they had to censor by every time it was like a back shot. My mom thought that was hilarious. It wasn't really great with the whole letting me basically watch whatever. Lucky I didn't uh, watch anything unfortunate at a young age. And then there was Saint Seiya back when it was Knights of the Zodiac on I think Adult Swim. Adult Swim anime stuff is pretty great. Got my exposure to Big O and Cowboy Bebop, Gundam Wing, and G Gundam. But over time, I fell out of watching anime and reading manga. After I could read whatever on the internet. But despite shying away from, I guess, mostly due from modern anime, or like modern Japanese art aesthetic or cartoon aesthetics, they still I still occasionally read manga. And one of them that I've kept up on for a long time was Blood on the Tracks. And I've read this guy's work for a while. I keep forgetting his name. He wrote Flowers of Evil or Aku no Hana. And then I think one was like Happiness or something. Shuzo Oshimi. Yeah, there you go. Happiness, Inside Mari, Drifting Net Cafe. Um, well, he started a new one in 2020. He likes juggling, having a bunch of different stuff. Oshimi. Oshimi. Going off of his Wikipedia article, Oshimi's narrative style consists of stories presenting quirky, clumsy main characters, usually a boy and a girl couple, and how their relationship unfolds as the narrative progresses. He also presents uncommon, uncomfortable, and sometimes disturbing situations through which the protagonists take part. This narrative style has been seen in all of the author's works, including his best-known work, The Flowers of Evil. Absolutely in The Flowers of Evil. Like that's basically the whole story, is a series of really shenanigans events. Let's see what the rest of this says, or reads. Oshimi likes to explore themes such as coming of age and perversion, combined with his experiences in his youth. He thinks that the end of adolescence is hard to define, and is up to an individual to discover, such as in The Flowers of Evil. He also believes that perversion is a characteristic of every person that is surrounded by stigma, which he wants people to think about. It's a very Japanese thing. Not the perversion, but like it's to my knowledge, a very repressed country. Or like has been for a while. Okay, good. I remembered the unmute. That would have been embarrassing. Oshimi also wants to explore the female perspective in his gender bender manga Inside Mari, because to him, girls are half of the world. I think one of the main things that's missing in the summary is a frequent exploration of not just perversion, but like the darker parts of the human mind, or the dark places that the human mind can go to. And mental illness seems to be something that comes up a lot. A lot on the tracks has to be probably the most normal thing that he's written that I have read. I've read through Drifting Net Cafe, Flowers of Evil, Inside Mari, and most of Happiness, I want to say. So he's had 2 single volumes in 2020 and 21, and then a new serialization with Welcome Back, Alice, which I haven't seen anything for. If anything, I'd probably read Flowers of Evil again and read all of his works, or his older works in order, maybe. I don't really want to spoil anything because I still think they're good reads. But mental illness, or I guess like neurodivergence, stuff like personality disorders and whatever, pop up a lot over the course of his works. normally he tends to, at least from what I've seen, tease the fantastical, but not actually commit to it. Though Drifting Net Cafe was seemed to be an exception for that. And then, of course, Happiness is about vampires. If I remember right, how Happiness was presented visually was different from his other works, I think. There's a lot of color. There's like more color. It's still typically in like black and white. Where I remember there being a lot more color in the like intro. I like how in the recruitment or like the translators advertisement page before the comic properly starts has a recruitment advertisement for Rikudou. Rikudou is pretty. I don't know how to word it. I think how it presents one of the significant things that happens early on in the manga is more sexual than it probably should be. Like, I don't really want to give it away. But something bad that happens is drawn in a way that's like, I would totally believe it if someone told me that the author was a hentai artist. Actually, there's a few things, but personally, I don't think any, like the very rare times stuff like that happens. Stuff like that. I mean, like the whenever I get that vibe of like, I don't, where I suppose something was added because of probably a slightly perverted reason. I don't probably murder or anything. I don't think it. I don't think any of it really detracts from the story. To which the story itself is pretty great, from as far as I've read. It's a boxing manga about an orphan who was saved by a former boxer when something really bad was happening. And that kind of catapulted his life. In the direction he finds himself is in. One moment. Main character is really interesting because they take the, cold, scarred, stoic type and actually try to breathe some life into him. Like life and purpose and everything. And it takes a while. It's not just like immediate. Like he goes on like growth arcs and everything. And like Oshimi's work. Which this isn't done by Oshimi as far as I know. But like Oshimi's work, there's a bit of touching on the weirdness that people can have.